So one of the things I was most concerned about when building this was how stable it was going to be. So with the frame on the bottom, the cattle panels pinched with the boards, this thing is so surprisingly stable. I can't shift it left or right, back or forth. And we've had about 12 inches of snow, so a lot of people are asking how stable these things are with snow. So on top, 12 inches, perfectly fine. I mean, you'd have to have the snow pushed down on the metal bars to make it bow outward, but that's really where the middle stabilizers, as well as that back wall and the front wall, come into play here. These things are really helping the top down to be quite stable, and then that back wall is certainly going to be providing a much more solid, sturdy structure. So one of the things that I'd like to change about this now is the bench itself. So obviously I put the wall back there to expand the functionality beyond just simply growing in here, so you at least have some sort of level surface to work off of. And it's served its purpose. You know, it's still 1/4 inch MDF isn't holding up so well, but we're looking to expand this to have a potting area, a sink, as well as a soil or potting mix storage into here. So we're going to take this down for the moment, and then we're going to rebuild it up into something that has function beyond just being a level surface. So that's going to be the plan for this particular project, and I'll show you it when it's done. I wanted to show you when the bench is off that there's really nothing special about this back wall. It's not solid construction, but it is quite sturdy. So it's just that sheet of wood and then braced either through the bottom foundation up through the top, which then talks to the middle braces and the front braces. So it is still quite a level, sturdy wall. I mean, even that crappy little bench that I had on there previously, I could easily sit on it. So I'm about 150 pounds, and that could easily take that weight. So in that case, you see that the wall is still quite level. It's not bowing. Obviously I'm not trying to put too much weight on it, and that weight that I put on it was just for a couple of moments. It wasn't a long-term sort of thing, but pretty much that you can get away with a lot of extra function just by a couple pieces of wood and some bracing. And I'm just going to build the wood or the frame against that the middle brace, and then that will be it for that. All right, so I'm finishing off the bench, and very beautiful snowfall here. So you can see how the snow can accumulate on the side, but then it falls down if you kind of hit it from the inside. So it does accumulate, it does hold it, no biggie. Okay, so we finished off the bench. We went from just a single use sort of bench to something that has multifunction. In a small area that we have in here, we want to make as best use of the area or the space that we have. So right now you see a level surface that you can do whatever you need, but we also modified it in each case for other things that we would like to. So this would be something for a sink. So we just kind of used a bucket right now. See if we will use it extensively. We'll kind of modify it to have a drain in, but right now just kind of pops out. You can wash your hands off, you can wash crops off, whatever you want from that. The middle part is then the larger potting area. So this is where you would then use the potting mix that's on the side over here. So you would be grabbing your potting mix, you'd have your trays here, trays right here, and then you would pot everything here. So you can either use it for the soil, and then this bottom thing is going to capture any sort of excess soil that you put there. But the bottom thing also moves out. Kind of a snug fit right now, to if you want to wash it or use any sort of water. So I know water in here will probably warp the wood a little bit, so I try to have it also using for water and no water activities, just to minimize any sort of warping the wood. That would pretty much kill the function of this. So this does move out. We'll probably have to put some shellac on it to make it move a little easier. It's not moving as nicely, but You have your bins on the side, so once you make your potting mix, you have that for whenever you need it. You flip up boards, you put your trays down, you wash your hands, whatever it may be. So this is kind of what we're going to go with for the moment. In terms of legs, we really don't support it. I don't like having the legs on the bottom because it is a small space, so we just kind of have the brackets going off the stable wall in the back. So that worked out well for us before. It probably weighs a good 40-50 pounds, but as I said before, I used to sit on the one previous to that and we had no sort of issue. So hopefully the back doesn't bow, and then we should be good to go now. So that is now taking the cattle panel greenhouse, putting in a workbench, and making a multifunctional workbench.